So I wanted to do a video in addition to the message that I have written on Facebook, just to explain sort of how this all went down. For those of you that have been following, I had a lymph node biopsy about roughly 2-ish weeks ago, just because I had previous, core needle biopsy and imaging that came up inconclusive but not great. And I was hopeful that it was just going to be some kind of viral thing. So the call came in, and it turns out I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. You go through a million things. So, I got off the phone with the person. They were like, yeah, it's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Luckily it is a certain type. And I went, oh, okay, click. And then I went, wait a second, what just happened? And I had Amanda call back, and we figured out. So first thing you do, of course, is you Google it, and you get lots of stories of people passing away from it. You get lots of stories about the severity of it and then the treatments for it. So I went through a week of going through I'm going to die. What are my kids going to do? How does this work? Things are fairly complicated in that sense. And I don't even have a will. Pro tip, don't watch a monster calls within 2 days of a diagnosis like that. I didn't know what it was about. There was a beautiful production done by Bristol Old Vic of a stage adaptation of the book. Stunning, but you really don't want to watch an incredible piece about a child dealing with their parent dying of cancer. It's my younger daughter's favorite book. And of course you get paranoid. You start to go, oh, in a woo-woo way, is this her favorite book because it's been preparing her all along for, what's inevitably going to happen with her parent? So anyway, on Friday, I had an appointment with the hematologist oncologist. He basically sat down and he was like, hey, do you know what you have? I was like, yeah, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He said, well, it's this one type. The treatment for it is chemotherapy, R-CHOP. And there wasn't like any debate. It wasn't like, well, we could do this, or this is a conservative one, or this is it was just like, this is the treatment. And I had known that was a possibility, but you kind of play out in your head, well, this type of thing doesn't always necessarily need to be treated. Sometimes it's a watch and wait. And you kind of go, well, maybe it's going to be that. No. So I went ahead, and it's all real fast. I got the news Friday, at probably like 11. By 12:30, the surgeon's office was calling, kind of saying, hey, we've got an appointment for you on Monday to install your port. So that's what happened yesterday. In my left arm, got a what's called a power port put in. Many of my biggest fears, two have occurred in close succession. One is being put under and being cut open for the biopsy. The second was being cut open awake, and that's what they did to install the port. Anybody ever have to get a port installed? It's probably the wrap that they give you. They go, well, there'll be a little bit of burning when we numb it, and then you'll feel a lot of pressure. Yeah, that's kind of crap. It was painful as all get out. Apparently I have a nerve by the vein, so they kept injecting it. And then when they did the pressure part, it was pressure, yeah, but it was pain. And I'm still like super sore. They'll like go, well, it's kind of like a bruise and we'll give you Tylenol. I'm like, this isn't bruise pain. And I have a fairly high pain tolerance for the biopsy. I didn't take anything except Tylenol. And for this, I'm like, maybe I'll take the stronger stuff. So at some point, probably in the next 2 weeks, I'll start chemo. Again, another big fear for me. Friends that have gone through chemo, I, of course, have followed what's happening with them, and really tried to be present to it. But because I was so afraid of it, it was always sort of like, I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna be present to them, but I'm worried that if I stay too long, I'm gonna get it. Well, that didn't, that wasn't real. So that's where we are. I will probably be out of commission in one way or another. Bear in mind, this is COVID chemo. So when I say out of commission, it's only because I can't really go out and about with an immune system that's being tamped down. So, for the next 4.5 months, that's what my life's going to be. Again, weird thoughts go through your head. You're like, gosh, I hope it works. And then even in amongst that, you kind of look at it and go, wow, I don't know if I'm going to get like extremely sick, or I'm going to be somebody where they have to stop because I get so sick, and they'll get a wait, and then it extends it. Of course, I'm going to lose all my hair. I'm going to be, in that zone for quite a while. Not that I'm like super vain, but I do I'm pretty careful about how I'm seen. One of the weird things in all of this was just the feeling that once you get the diagnosis and you go through the, oh my God, I'm going to die thing, because that's what you do, right? Even if you're not, or there's, strong evidence you're not, you still go there. And I thought, if that ever happened to me, that, I would feel bad and feel bad for myself. I didn't really feel bad for myself. I was panicked, but I felt bad for everybody around me. I felt sorry for them. And so going through that was, I guess, life-changing, but not necessarily a wake-up call that I wanted. So anyway, without kind of dragging this out, that's what's happening with me. If you made it this far, thank you. I might post more. I don't know what headspace I'm going to be in or how functional I'm going to be. But I'll try and keep folks that are interested updated. And thank you for everybody who supported me through the initial biopsy. I saw all of those. I just was not in a headspace to respond. So thank you guys, and I will hopefully see you all soon.